Hey folks, as of midnight, June 12th, 2023, SAG-AFTRA is on strike, joining the already striking WGA on the picket lines.
Yep, the AMPTP refuses to give a fair deal to not only the writers, but now the actors.
No actors, no writers. The ding-dongs like Bob Iger and David Zaslav think you can just make shows and movies with computers instead of trained professionals.
The AMPTP want to starve SAG-AFTRA and the WGA. They want them to lose their homes.
They want to destroy the unions so their bank accounts can continue to swell.
All CEOs, all capitalists, all corporate whores, not just in Hollywood, but on Main Street and Wall Street too, they hate unions. And you're going to be hearing stuff out of the strike, and you're going to be thinking to yourself, that sounds like my industry, my job.
Oh, it sounds like that because it's the same. Actors, writers, truck drivers, electricians, they're all workers. We are all workers.
And we're all entitled to the fruits of our labor. The bosses think that they're entitled to it.
They're not.
This is a historic work stoppage. The Actors Union and the Writers Union haven't been on strike together since 1960. That industry-wide shutdown created the residual payment system so that actors, writers, and directors could finally participate in the profits that their hard work continued to generate for the studios through reruns, stuff like that.
Back then, television was pretty new, and labor knew that they would get hosed by the bosses with new technology. So to get a fair deal, they went on strike.
Sound familiar?
It should. Streaming residuals, new tech. Generative AI, new tech. The bosses are looking to hose the workers again.
And us, the audience. People always joke, Hollywood hasn't made anything good in the last 10 years anyway, so who cares? Bullshit. Without unions, everything that you watch would look like the trash student films that JP and I made in college.
Hey, hold on. The Killers was the bomb.
No. But everything else.
Yeah, okay.
Unions are your friend. In Hollywood, on Main Street, at school, at the factory.
The CEOs are not. They'd replace you in a fucking second with a robot or a computer or one of those like naughty drinking bird things like in that Simpsons episode. They do that without a second thought about your kid's dinner or your mortgage or your health insurance.
Yeah, you want to automate everything? Fine. Give us universal health care. Give us universal basic income. Give us free college. Give us government subsidized housing. No? Don't want to do that? Then give the workers a fair deal, you greedy jagoffs.
Well, hey, you know what? Give labor a fair deal and then do all that other shit anyways.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you can support not only the striking guild members, but the other film and TV pros who are affected, pass along a gift at entertainmentcommunityfund.org.
Solidarity forever.
Workers of the world unite. Hey, do you know who the SAG president was in 1960?
Who?
Known union hero Ronald Reagan.
Motherfucker. Okay, yeah. Good old union busting Ronnie Reagan. Yeah, that's what he's known for. Oh, man. You know, he used to be a liberal Democrat back in the day, back when he was SAG president. And then somewhere along the line, the corporations got to his brain, and then it all started to melt.
Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense. Sort of. But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a one-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost. Welcome everybody to Lost on Lost. Hey, I'm JP Russell, and I'm joined as always by a man who loves picking out floral arrangements, Adam Busher.
That's me, baby. It's that old joke. What's better than roses on your piano?
What?
Tulips on your organ.
So, Adam.
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary defines a man from Tallahassee as getting invited to an orgy, but you assume a false identity, and then when no one's looking, you replace all of the sex lube with honey and jelly. Then when everyone is distracted, you leave and never return. For example, who the hell put all this honey in the lube? Oh, it was that dang-nammit man from Tallahassee again.
Who's out here passing out their real name at an orgy?
Today we're talking about the man from Tallahassee, the 13th episode of Season 3 and the 62nd episode of Lost overall. Our central character is a man who loves to make sinky boats more sinky, my sweet baby boy Johnny Locke. A Man from Tallahassee takes place on the 80th day after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Adam?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a recap?
Uh-huh.
Regale us with it.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for C4. On the island, the rescue of Dr. Jack Shepard goes exactly to plan. Whose plan? Ben Linus, of course. Kate Austin, Saeed Jarrah, and John Locke arrive at the barracks, only to see Jack making himself at home with the others. And in the before times, Locke's relationship with Anthony Cooper continues to show signs of strain, and they have a falling out. Well, one of them falls out of something, that's for sure. You put bandages on outside boo-boos and booze on inside boo-boos. But for a broken back, nothing will cure what ails you like Dharma brand back medicine. Dharma brand back medicine will get you back on your feet in no time. It's the man from Tallahassee here on Lost on Lost.
Bravo.
JP,
Yeah.
we have a guest.
Do tell.
I want everybody out there in Lost on Lost land to give a big Lost on Lost welcome to one Jeff Leinenkugel. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yes. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Like so many of our illustrious guests, we met Jeff back in college, way
Yeah.
back in the day, back in the film program. Unlike some of us, myself and JP, are your college training you're actually sort of using now in your career.
So now I'm a high school teacher, and I teach TV and film to juniors and seniors at a high school down here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you've been doing that for a while, right?
Yeah, actually, this is my 10th year doing it.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, and it doesn't really feel like that, but I was just like reflecting back on it. I was like, what? Where did that go?
I could save you most of your time planning curriculum, Jeff.
Okay.
Just show them that scene from Fableman where John Ford's like, when the horizon's at the top, it's interesting. When the horizon's at the bottom, it's interesting. When the horizon's in the middle, it's boring as shit. Now get the fuck out of my office.
There's probably something to that, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies are great because they're kind of like books, right? If you want to learn how to write, you have to read.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to make a movie, you should watch a movie, right? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
No, that's really
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, speaking of really cool, like you just recently did like a film festival sort of like competition thing for your students.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is actually my second school that I worked at. The first school was a much smaller school, but I did my first film fest there. And Adam Haas, probably friend of the show.
Yeah.
Adam
Yeah.
Haas,
Yeah.
yeah, friend of the show. He actually flew out to Dallas and like was a film fest judge like in person.
Oh, nice. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but he records our fucking podcast remotely. Nice, Haas.
Well, he was remote this year as a judge. So yeah, so we did it with the smaller school, and then I moved to this huge 6A school. 2,700 kids in the building.
Jeepers.
Yeah, it's big building, whatever. First year, though, that I moved there, I was brought there to kind of recreate what I was doing on the small scale at a much larger school.
Sure.
When I was brought there, it was 2019, and we were
shit.
making all our films over spring break, and none of the kids came back after spring break.
Oh, right.
And
right.
so,
Oh, God.
yeah, that was the end of that. The next year, we couldn't do anything because theaters they were just opening, right?
Yeah.
Whenever
And
Maverick
nobody
came
was
out or
going.
whatever. And no one was going. And then last year, we still had a field trip ban.
Oh.
So this was the first year that we were able to do it in person again
Right.
at a movie theater. So it worked out really well.
You rented out a theater and you played all the students' films up on the big screen and stuff like that. And so
Yeah, handed out awards. That's another funny thing, actually. The awards that we handed out this year still say 2020 on them, so they never got new awards. So I literally handed them out. I asked the kids, I was like, kids, listen, level with me right now. I can get new awards, or I can just use these and we can buy like a Ronin. And they were like, yeah, get the Ronin.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
That's amazing. Jeff, talk to us a little bit about your familiarity with the ABC television program Lost. Were you a fan of the show?
No.
Perfect.
I wasn't. Yeah. No, I never watched the show live. I never watched a single episode on ABC. Okay, so I think I discovered Lost in like 2006, maybe 2007. And it was, I know exactly actually when it was. It was my sophomore year. It was that last year in the dorms. In Oshkosh, you had to stay in the dorms for 2 years, if you remember.
Fucking dark
And it was
ages.
Yeah, and it was And it was that winterum time. So it was January. My roommate was gone. I only had like one friend in all of Oshkosh at the time, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was just gone. And I went to the library and I realized that you could rent like DVDs and CDs and stuff. So I would just like go and burn CDs. And then I would start getting the DVDs there. Lost was one of the sets of DVDs there. And so I had my one friend come over and we basically binged the first season. We basically caught up, and I would never watch it live. I would always wait until that kind of winterum and time and just rent the full season. And so I didn't experience Lost the way my friends did. I have friends who loved Lost, and I didn't experience it the way they did, and I didn't get it really. I was just like, I watched it straight through, and I think it loses a lot of its mystique when you just binge it, right? Like, I don't think it's a very it is a bingeable show because you keep clicking next, but I think it really starts to dissolve quickly.
It's that delayed thing. It's like you don't spend a week waiting to find out what's going to happen next.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
You have like a community. I think that's probably what a lot of people remember more about the show than the show itself.
Well, so then based on that, since that's why you're here, do you want to talk about Lost?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
The Man from Tallahassee originally aired on March 21st, 2007. It was written by Drew Goddard and Jeff Pinkner and was directed by Jack Bender. Drew Goddard wrote Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Nice.
The season 8 motion comic. Jeff Pinkner was the executive producer of Everything Sucks. Hey, Jeff, I know the feeling. And Jack Bender is not related to Bender from Breakfast Club or Bender Bending Rodriguez. I looked it up twice. We start in a flashback.
Yeah, this is different. Which episodes don't often start in flashback.
No, not often. John's getting grilled by the worst government employee that we've ever conceived. And that's saying something, because there's congressmen.
I really like the first thing she goes to is like his appetite, like too, or I think like, hey, how's your health? How's your appetite? And then he gets into like, oh, I'm quitting therapy. Then she like tries to teach him a lesson, like, oh, you don't need it, so just get out of here.
This is all HIPAA violation. They're doing this in like open air cubicles, and she's like, tell me about the relationship with your parents. It's like, what the fuck? This all feels like this should be things that, well, first of all, they're wildly out of line to be asking. But second of all, they should be in the file already if he's been going through this process for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the thing that bothered me the most. It was like, you should hypothetically have all this. We find out that it's like he's trying to get some benefits, like disability benefits, but it's a renewal. He's not applying for them for the first time. So like, in order to renew your benefits, we've got new questions for you? No.
Right. How's your benefit with your dad? I actually found him recently. Oh, benefits denied. Go ask your dad for money.
Go get your fucking allowance.
Yeah. So was the whole point of that episode like as a fake out where he finally like gets up at the end and we're all like, oh,
yes,
this is like new.
Precisely.
Because it doesn't really establish clearly during this scene where in John Locke's when in John Locke's life this happens.
They're talking about disability and you're like, oh yeah,
it's we've seen Walkabout at this point. We know he was in a wheelchair, like, but then he gets up and he's like, yeah, I don't need therapy, peace, whatever.
Yeah. Yet again, another John Locke balding wig that just doesn't
so
it's
wiggy.
not up to the job.
Wiggy, wiggy ass wig.
No.
But yeah, Jeff, exactly like you said, like eventually he stands up. He's like, well, I guess I'm better now. And it's like, oh shit, this is before the wheelchair thing.
From there, we cut to the present day in the jungle. John Locke, Kate, and Saeed are observing Jack just throwing around the pigskin with old Tom.
And these are the worst pigskin throws, like
absolutely.
Like the catch that like Juliet does is like she actually gets it. I guarantee you they took like 5 takes there, you know? They're like just throw it. Like I'm gonna throw it a little softer and with a little more arc on it this time.
Just get under it.
Okay,
just
I'll get it. Yeah, get under it. Exactly right. I'm telling you. Yeah, like Tom is like winded in the back.
That always
like I don't know if you guys caught
up.
that, but he's just like bent over, just winded after like one throw.
We're gonna keep doing this till you learn how to run a fucking flat route, Tom.
Yeah.
I can do this shit all day, baby.
Oh my god.
Jack has so much charisma that Tom's just like, okay, all right, I got it this time.
I really want to be your friend so bad.
Yeah.
The three of them are crouched in the bushes, and yeah, this is not what they were expecting to see when they
No, not at
arrived
all.
here. Like, yeah, Jack's being really really buddy with Tom. Yeah, just like having little secret, sweet nothing conversations with Juliet. Another thing that they weren't expecting to happen is apparently Rousseau was with them and is not anymore.
She just fucking Irish goodbyes again. It's so good.
You don't even see
She
her
just
leave.
smoke bomb becomes the jungle.
Yeah.
You don't even see her leave.
Was that from the previous episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But like
All
Kate,
right.
Kate has a line. She's like, "Hey, Danielle," and they just point to this empty part of the bush. They don't even show her leaving. It's just like, oh, there's nobody there anymore.
I hope Mia Furlan was like that in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and that's a wrap on Mir. Oh, she's already gone.
Yeah.
She's gone.
I guess I didn't even really notice that, but I guess you have to do it for the later on plot point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right? If
exactly.
she's just out there, then it's like, oh, hey, I don't have the kid like having like the mystery moment of like, you never saw her.
That's exactly why that line is even
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
This fucking cracked me up though. Jack and Juliet go over to talk to Ben. Ben and Jack shake hands. The A team sees all of this, and then just like John Locke fucking Horatio Canes himself right into the lost card. This is gonna be more complicated than we thought.
The binocular mask also looked like something my kids made. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But man,
It's
like,
rough.
Yeah, not great.
Like I'm pretty sure there's a better option just like on Pinnacle back then that you could have used.
Holy shit. Jeff, you just said Pinnacle, and I had like an acid flashback. Good God. The way back
Wait,
machine, my
you-
guy.
Were you a Pinnacle user back in the day?
No, one of my roommates was, though.
All right.
But yeah, that's the cold open. We cut to maybe they probably stepped away a little bit. Kate's loading her rifle. Why wasn't it loaded?
Again, right. Yeah, she's... Locke's also removing the bullets and putting them back in the magazine for drama, I guess.
Yeah. But Kate thinks that something's wrong. He's been brainwashed. He's been drugged. Something's happened. She doesn't buy this facade that they've just seen.
And Saeed, being the voice of reason, is like, well, we don't know why.
Right.
So we're just going to have to find out. We can sit here and guess all
we
day.
could
but we're-
speculate, or we could do
Yeah.
recon.
So you know what's actually interesting in that point when Kate says, oh, he's drugged, and she's all like panicked or whatever. It's actually Locke that defends Jack, and Locke is like Jack's like this caring dude. And then like proposes the plan to get Jack back. And
Right.
obviously he doesn't really care about Jack. And we know that. Like we know that they have a super contentious relationship.
Yeah,
So it's actually really interesting. And we see how scheming John is in that moment.
He's earnest in the sense that he's like, Jack's probably not just a turncoat. Jack's doing this for a reason. We don't know what that reason
Yes.
is, but he's a big boy and he'll fucking take care of himself.
Yeah.
I got my John Locke shit I got to do, though. So let's get down to brass tacks here.
Correct.
Back to flashback. I believe Locke is watching Expose, right?
He is. Absolutely is. Yes.
The Cobra.
Every time we cut to a John Locke flashback, they just get more depressing.
Oh,
Yeah, sad Locke.
hard to watch. Bad hair again, too.
Yeah, right. Just saddest TV dinner in the just grossest like motel apartment situation.
Yep. And you know he was depressed. We found that out in the first scene there. You know he's fighting. He's going through a mental health battle. You know
Totally.
and that happens to people. You know you get stuck in a rut. You know sweatpants in the middle of the day. You know
Fuck you. That sounds great.
there's a fine line between depression and self care. I think. But yeah, some dork shows up. That's what I wrote down. Some dork.
Yeah.
Peter Talbot.
Peter Talbot.
Peter Talbot.
He comes in because he believes that his mother is being scammed by a dude that just like came out of nowhere and like swept his mom off her feet, and he got a weird vibe. He tried to like do some background research on this dude. Didn't find out much about him other than the fact that this dude here, John Locke, donated him a kidney.
That's how he gets in the door. 'Cause he's like, no soliciting.
Yeah.
He's like, you got the wrong John Locke. Well, how many kidneys do you have?
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, how many fucking black eyes you got? Bam! But yeah, it exactly what you said, Adam. He's like, well, I don't trust this guy. I got a real bad vibe about him. He has assumed another identity. I can kind of prove that much because he got your kidney under a different name. So what's the deal with this guy? Give me the lowdown. And John instantly in scheming mode, in sweet baby boy mode, is like, I don't know. It was an anonymous thing. Never met the man. 'Cause he's like, I want a piece of this guy. Yep. Like the kid did all the legwork. Now it's my turn to get in the driver's seat.
Yeah. I don't know. This scene's kind of depressing, man. Like, and then I like the. Well, it starts very depressing. But I really do like the switch. Because I think that puzzle or that revenge, that vengeance, at least gets him moving.
Yep.
That's when we get to see him, get that little fire in his belly kind of thing. And I like that. That's my favorite Locke, the motivated Locke, like pounding on the hatch Locke.
Yeah, well, that's his thing. He's like, well, my therapist said I really should do something I enjoy. I do enjoy hunting down people.
We come back to the island. It is now nighttime. Locke, Kate, and Saeed are approaching the barracks. They have a plan. They're like, all right, you go over there, and you go over here, and I'll go over here. And Locke's like, it'll be better if Jack only sees you, Kate, because, he'll probably have an erection, and that'll help him think. So, Saeed, you go that way, I'll go this way. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So they split.
Yeah.
Split up.
Like in a small little house. Those are 2-bedroom homes.
Yeah, and this area, the barracks too, it's not like this huge area. It's like 6 buildings. Like, I don't know. It's not very big. So we follow Kate into this little house. Jack's sitting there plunking away at the piano.
Listen, Kate doesn't know shit about how to clear a door or close quarter tactics because she would have been dead 12 times over.
She gets in there and Jack must sense her presence or something, I don't know, and turns and sees her there.
I smell someone ovulating behind me.
Yeah, but he perfectly plays this song first, even though that he could probably hear a gun behind him.
Right, yeah. Like, she's probably reloading her rifle again for no good reason, just like racking the slide. Just like, what is that fucking noise?
And she does the thing where she like puts it down so that later when somebody kicks in the door, she's unarmed, the way no one would.
Especially if you just saw this man shaking hands with like your mortal enemy who is like shot people.
You're in the fucking lion's den. Yeah.
Right. Oh, but here's Jack playing a sad song with like only 8 keys on the piano.
Yeah, he's doing a real bad job pretending to play the piano.
Right.
Jack's not happy to see her. He's like, you shouldn't have come. He indicates that there's a camera as though you wouldn't be able to see this massive security camera.
It is cartoonishly large.
It's got a VCR deck attached to it.
Right.
But hey, check it out. Splitting up didn't work. Somehow we don't see this happen. Saeed got caught. Again, Saeed's the guy. Saeed's the man who actually has military training. He's got survival training. He's got all kind of, he's got communication training. Saeed's got a great skill set. At no point did I believe that he got caught. Like, how?
No.
How?
Right.
How did he get caught?
This is one of the reasons why I started hating Lost, by the way, like even early on.
Sure.
Is because you get the venturers out into the world and then they come back, like someone gets captured or something happens, then everyone runs back. Yeah. And then they got to make a decision. Then they go out and capture or, rescue that guy while also sending a little detachment somewhere else to do something. Then they all reconvene. Then they make a decision. Then they go out and then they do it again. And like when you don't have those 7 days to just sort of talk about it, you catch on to that rhythm so much. So it's the same thing. Like he gets caught like frequently. I feel like
he does.
He's like the first person to get captured.
Yeah. Frequently, he gets captured by like Rousseau at one point. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way.
It's because they're like, oh, our main characters are kind of bozos and we need to make them good at everything. Oh, shit. We made Saeed a fucking trained militant torturer. Well, we can't have him be better than all of the Anglo people, so we're just going to have him get fucking captured and beat up all the time.
We cut over to Ben's house where he is recovering. Locke visits with him. Yeah, Jeff, turns out you were right. Locke's not there for Jack.
Yeah.
Locke is in here and he's like, do whatever. I don't care about you and Jack and whatever nonsense. I heard about the submarine. Give me the submarine. Question 1, where's the submarine? Question 2, give me the submarine.
Give me the submarine.
And then we go to commercial, and then we come back. Alex is like, hey, Dad, are you okay? And Locke's like, yeah, not anymore, Snatch.
He wakes up Ben from like a dead sleep. He's just like, gotcha, bitch. He instantly grabs Alex, who walks in. Then Tom comes in. It's just it's like a whole conga line of fucking people coming into Ben's room because he's the guy, right? No one does anything without Ben's approval, and John's just there with a gun to Alex, like, don't you fucking say a goddamn thing. Don't you fucking.
I said the same thing. How did Saeed get caught so fast? And then there were guys. Like, Jack played that piano for like 8 seconds. Kate put her gun down. They had like a 10-second conversation. There were guys tackling her.
Yeah.
Where are the guards at the literal boss's house?
Yeah.
And then it's just like Tom's the only, hey, are you all right? All right.
And he's got time to give him a full report. This is what happened. We got Kate. Jack was playing the piano. He was on bar 36 of hot cross buns. It's like, oh my God, so much has happened in so little time.
This was confusing to me because, Locke takes Alex and hides in the closet, and Tom comes in and starts extolling the epic tale of how they caught Saeed real easy.
Yeah.
And then Ben's like, okay, cool, thanks. Later. But then Richard was there. Did you guys see Richard?
Yeah, Richard was there. Yeah.
I never saw Richard walk in, but it's like he's like revealed. I think Tom leaves and he's like, Richard, and like he steps from the shadows. He's like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like yeah.
Also, Jeff, thank you, because no one from our generation can say the name Richard without referencing Tommy Boy. Richard.
I grew up with my dad's name was Richard. So really? Yeah.
But Ben's like, oh, hey, also, Richard, do me a favor and go get the man from Tallahassee. And Richard's like, you want me to replace all your lube with honey and jelly? And he's like, no.
No.
It's not a code. I mean literally the man from Tallahassee. Go. And Richard's like, all right, cool.
But are we doing the orgy later? Though?
But
that's what Tom needed to know.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this, but is the other thing also happening at the same time? Yeah.
Right.
There's only 6 homes there. You know they're all getting down. I'm just saying.
So they fuck off. And so then Locke comes out and he's like, hey, this actually doesn't have to take that long. All I need is Saeed's bag. Go get Saeed's bag for me. Alex, you go get it. I'll stay here and chill with your dad. We can just talk about whatever. And, come right back. And she's like, got it. On it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because he's like, maybe using her isn't the best thing because she hates me right now.
Yeah.
She's like, just shut up. I'll go do the thing. Whatever. Right. I'm just going with the flow right now.
Yeah, I did think that was interesting because that was like only the least little bit of characterization of Ben and Alex's relationship that we get in the episode. Cut to a flashback. John Locke finds Anthony Cooper out shopping for flowers with his sweetie.
That arrangement for a wedding, please. This isn't a fucking funeral.
Yeah, it was pretty inappropriate. You want the arrangement to say something like about hope and like
not like this was made by the blind.
Cooper spots him and he's like, oh, hey, I know that dude.
I'm gonna fucking look at these flowers over here, honey. We're playing it real smooth. I'm gonna go talk to this man who's definitely not my son and also my same age.
Oh my, yeah, this. Oh, it's something that I'll never get over too. Is like, hey, how old are you? Like, isn't that like appropriate to even ask? Like, if you're donating a kidney anyway, right? Like,
right.
I don't know if we looked this up before, but Terry O'Quinn is presently 70 years old and Kevin Tye is presently 78 years old. Those two actors are 8 years apart.
Yeah. And you know what they look at too? They don't look like there's a gap there.
Two middle-aged men, like
they look the same, you know?
Yeah.
At least put John Locke in like an afro or something, like
right. Like you got
give him a fucking perm.
He looks like a munchkin from The Wizard of Oz, like with the hair.
Yeah.
Like seriously, if I could show you this image that I'm looking at right now, that's what it looks like. And he's all like he's got like really bad like tan makeup,
Yeah.
and he just
Yeah.
kind of looks like the Lollipop Guild guys. That's what it is.
Now, wait a second. Canonically, we did name his big buck knife Dorothy.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
That's
guys,
true.
Guys, we're on to something here.
Locke confronts Cooper. He's just like, hey, I know what you're trying to do. You're going to scam this lady. Don't fucking do it, man. I know that you're a con artist. I know that's like your profession or shit like that, but like you're hurting people. So have a conscience and don't do it. Like that was the subtext, like be a good dude. It's like, this guy's not a good guy. Why would he listen to that? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
It's like, if you don't call it off, I'll tell her everything. And he'll go con somebody else. That's what he's been doing his entire life. If he gets caught or if he gets away with it here, he's going to just go do it again.
Tell her so that he can't spin this his own way.
Why did you just fucking rat him out? Instead of giving him the chance to do the right thing, just fucking be like, that guy's a fucking con man. Go right to her.
Well, hit him with the classic TV thing where it's like, is there anyone here who thinks these two should not be wed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And then he fucking zip lines like down to the front of the church and he's like, this man's a imposter, you know.
He's an organ trafficker.
Would John Locke's story like even register to her as true?
Maybe not.
Like
Yeah.
this guy was with my mother and then he abandoned me and I'm just like this weird guy, but he stole my kidney. Like, look, my kidney's missing. He got a kidney. I'm the guy. He stole it. Like, no one would believe that, right?
Maybe that's why he doesn't do it.
Right. So he's just making these empty threats and clearly the con man's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever.
not believing anything. Your threats are empty as hell, as we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my dad, sir. That man is the same age.
That is your brother at best. Go back to the barracks. Ben kind of knows what's up with Locke's plan. Like he's like, oh, if you talk to Mikhail, that means you're at the communication station. The basement of that place is like literally filled to the brim with C4. So you probably have C4. Don't blow up my submarine. And he's like, but I want to.
Yeah. I like to hyperfixate, and this is kind of my new thing, is blowing up your fucking boat.
This is one of those little scenes where the others show how much they know about everything. And so, like, Ben's like, I know that you did X, Y, Z. This is your history. This is blah, 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 blah. I know all about this. So, you know, it's more to the mystery of the others and their ability to know stuff. From there, we cut to the pool hall. Kate is trying to get out of the handcuffs. Tom stops by. Just like, hey, I didn't think I'd see you again. We're friends. Such a nice guy. That's the thing about Tom. Like, Tom friendly, man. Just a friendly guy, you know.
He really is.
Just kind of a nice guy. You know, depending on the episode he's in.
Yeah, he's also stolen children before. So.
Right.
One time that happened. And that was fucking weeks ago, JP. Why are you bringing up old shit?
Wait, wasn't it twice?
Well, yeah, I think he steals the baby, too.
And didn't they steal those kids from the tailies?
Walt?
Okay, so 3 children. So you steal 3 children and now he's a child stealer?
Let me know when he gets to a baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a child. So he's a kidnapper. Okay, maybe not that nice of a guy.
Still friendly, though. I mean,
Still
all
friendly.
the kids were returned.
So nice about it.
I think in the last episode we just found out that Zach and Emily are fine, or in one of the most recent episodes.
I want there to be a fucking deleted scene or like a Lost Missing Pieces where they capture Walt and he lets him drive the boat. He's like, hey, Tucker, you want to drive the boat?
Hey, get up here.
Yeah, come on, sit
You're
down.
gonna aim
Tom's
right.
lap.
Yeah. You're gonna aim right for this light right here. Bring her in nice and smooth.
Yep, I'm gonna control the throttle, but I'm gonna let you use the wheel. Okay, here we go. Tom brings in Jack so that he can talk to, you know, sort of fill in Kate and they can catch up or whatever. Sitting in a folding chair backward, never comfortable.
No,
Why would anybody
never.
ever do that? I was like, are you gonna warn her about the dangers of underage drinking? Like, what are you doing?
Wasn't that like the opening scene of Gangster's Paradise too, where the teacher walks in and flips a chair around and sits on it like that?
No, that's the substitute with Tom Berenger.
Oh, I'm the cool guy.
Jack lays it out. He made a deal with Ben to go home, but I was gonna come back. I was 100% gonna come back.
Oh, totally, babe. Don't even worry about it.
That's actually one of Jack's badass moments, though, whispering in her ear, I'm going to come back for you, though, or whatever he says, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, those cameras, Jack, weren't recording sound. I think you can just say,
Yeah, you can just
like, if
say
you
it.
go back and look at that camera, you can see it's just one of those big box cameras.
Yeah.
No microphone. Yeah, you can just talk.
You can just say it.
He's leaving soon, though. Like, the deal is all set up. He did his part. He's about to get cut loose. Juliet comes, interrupts him. Like, hey, we got to get going.
We gotta go.
Get your shit. Get your purse. And and they leave. And then we cut back into flashback. Locke's coming home from grocery store. A couple of cops come looking for him. A-cab. Peter Talbot's dead.
Hey, by the way, we are not lawyers. If the cops ask you to answer any questions about anything, have your lawyer present.
That's right. If a cop asks you anything, shut the fuck up. You say one thing, give me a fucking lawyer.
Yep.
Hashtag not legal advice, but that is good legal advice. even if they're not arresting you or whatever, like if they want to talk to you, the cops aren't your friends.
I don't care how much candy they got.
That's
or
right.
How cool the crime dog fucking is.
Yeah. That's the only thing I wrote down for this scene.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, fucking that guy who's soliciting. They're like, why did he have your fucking name and address in his pocket? And why was he soliciting if he's worth like $8 million or $80 million or whatever? And he's like, that's fucking weird. I don't know.
So 2007, what a weird time that people would just like carry around names and numbers in their pocket on paper.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what a great convenience for the FBI detectives. Oh, well, this guy's got names in his pocket. Yeah. Let's investigate them.
Yeah. Let's pat him down and see if he's got any clues. Oh shit, an actual clue. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, now it would be like, you typed it into your phone and your notes, and it's like, well, we can't unlock this because it's, we need a warrant. So
yeah, let's go talk to this crazy, dude with the frizzly hair who's got like vengeance in his heart and murder in his eye. And then he's just like, yep, never heard of them. Never heard of them.
No clue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was he selling? I don't know. I turned him away. I told him to fuck off because I didn't want to deal with his bullshit. End of conversation. I'm going to go make another single serve fucking microwave dinner.
We cut back into Ben's house kitchen. Locke's hungry, whatever. Ben wants to know about Locke's healing and vice versa. He's like, you were in a wheelchair. We know you were in a wheelchair, whatever. And Locke catches onto his line of questioning. He's like, you're curious about why I'm not in a wheelchair because you're wondering why you're still in a wheelchair.
Right.
It's an interesting little, sort of like lore conversation. From there, we're continuous outside. Saeed has been chained to a swing set. He's being watched by a dude. By Ryan?
Who the fuck is Ryan?
Ryan's just one of these clowns.
He's just a clown.
Yeah.
Like
the others had this like little goon squad that was led by Pickett. And like we saw like Arlo and Ryan and Colleen and whatever.
Formerly alive person, Colleen.
Formerly known breathing human Colleen. But yeah, like they're just this like little ragtag group of like background. Like we have our background survivors who we never know what they're going on, Scott and Steve.
Yeah.
And so now we have background others too. We have Ryan and Colleen and Pickett, and they're just like breaking rocks and getting shot, and that's them.
So is chaining Saeed to a swing set like the best possible thing that they could do? Don't we find out later that there are literal prison cells in these homes, like in the basement? And you're going to put like the most trained guy just like to a swing set?
I don't know if they establish where like the box is.
All right.
Listen, they put the white lady by herself in the pool hall and they tied up the brown guy to the swing set under constant guard with guys with guns. That's racist. I don't know how, but it is.
Profiling.
They must not have searched his backpack. At least they maintained that privacy. They did not cross that line.
Yeah. That's nice.
Whatever he had in his backpack, they made sure not to check that. And then when the 13-year-old girl asks for it, they're like, okay. Oh, your dad asked for it? Cool, here.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah. Which is exactly what happens. Alex comes to retrieve the bag, and Ryan's like, you can't have it. And she's like, Ben said so. And he's like, oh, no problem then.
Yeah.
You tell me people in the others camp do that shit all the time. Oh, I got to eat all these fresh baked cookies you just made, Juliet. Why? Ben said so.
Oh, okay,
yeah, right.
In all seriousness, though, I fucking love the exchange between Alex and Saeed.
Yes.
Saeed has 3 lines, and so much is said that's not said.
You're Alex, aren't you?
How do you know my name?
Because you look like your mother.
My mother's dead.
sure that's what they told you.
Oh, so good.
Yep.
So
That
fucking
is
good.
really, really good writing.
And then, yeah, when it gets done having this nice conversation with Alex, Ryan pounds him. Dick.
Keep your hands off my sweet boy.
Go back to Ben's house. Locke is eating chow. I ate all the dark meat. Stop saying weird shit.
I never appreciated chicken till now. Or
Whatever he says, yeah.
That was he literally it's first of all he just helps himself.
Right.
Second of all, then he's just talking about how he hasn't appreciated chicken. He's just eating cold chicken, right?
Yeah.
Like it's even more. He gets it like out of the fridge, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I really like this.
Ben pitches Locke on the box. He's like, hey, man, what if we had a magic box where anything that you could imagine would just appear in it? And Locke's like, what? What are we talking about? Why? What is happening? Get me my fucking bag and let's just move the fuck on.
I love his line. I hope that box big enough to fucking get you ass a new submarine, motherfucker.
We cut to commercial and then we continue as Alex returns with the bag. Ben makes a last ditch attempt to try and stop him. Hey man, come on, don't. But I want to. But then part of his pitch is he's like, here's the thing. You want to stop anybody from finding the island. That's why you don't want Jack to leave.
Right.
Because you know what we all know what Jack's going to do. He's going to leave and he's going to try and come back and rescue the chicks and then maybe some of the dudes. But here's the thing. He can't come back. Remember when the sky turned sort of off-white? The anomaly knocked out our comms. He can leave. He can't come back. Nobody's finding the island. That's the thing you're scared of. So don't just let him go. Just let him go. Just let him go. So like he spills a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit lore, a little bit mythology, like the anomaly, whatever.
Yeah,
screwing with what used to be a relative, not easy but unnavigable trip between the island and elsewhere.
We've talked about this a little bit in the past. Having Jack be the leader of the beach folk allows Locke to go do Locke things.
Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
like, well, maybe I don't want Jack to leave. He's part of this. He doesn't quite know how yet, but he's like, I benefit from having Jack around here, so fuck that submarine.
I also think, and I've always thought this, and in fact, my last year of college, I actually wrote a paper about Locke and Jack.
Do you still have the paper?
I don't know if I do. I would have to look. I do have a lot of my college papers still, so I can look.
I demand it. Sorry, you were saying?
I think Locke always actually respected Jack. I don't think he would admit it ever. But I think you're right. I think you're on to something where Locke knows that Jack is good for him.
Yeah.
Like a check and balance type of thing.
Yeah.
And also just kind of allows him to do his crazy shit because Jack doesn't like to deal with Locke all that much.
Yeah.
Right.
Locke is big on balance, you know, when he's teaching Walt about backgammon, you know, the black and white, the two sides of any conflict. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he sees Jack as the other side of his coin. They may not see eye to eye all the time, but they do need each other. Locke's like, I'm going to blow up the submarine. See you later. And Alex he's like, Alex, you're going to show me how to get there. Ben's like, I want to come. He's like, here, I don't want you to slow me down. So they start walking out there. And this is when Alex is like, you know, Ben's manipulating you, right? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, he always does that. He can't not manipulate people. And he's super good at it.
But Locke's like, I mean, I kind of wanted to do this before I even talked to Ben. So this plays out in Ben's favor. So I'm going to just go have some fun.
Yeah. And along this walk, Rousseau can see Alex.
Yeah.
Is this the first time Rousseau's just like actually seeing Alex?
I think so, maybe.
And she doesn't say anything too? Like, be pretty wild if she did, I guess. She doesn't want to get caught, but...
We've talked in the past about we think that there might be potential for Rousseau to be afraid of showing Alex who Rousseau has become in the past 20 years. You know, she knows that she's no longer maybe necessarily sane, whatever. And so she doesn't want to, you know, give Alex the impression that her mother's this jungle person.
Yeah.
So
I dig that. I like that.
Alex gets to the dock and is like, there's a sub. And Locke's like, all right, cool. You should retreat to a safe distance.
Yeah.
I also just like how the sub is like on a dock, like just a normal like boat dock that you'd see in a northern Wisconsin lake.
My fucking pontoon boats on the other side.
Yeah.
Just this super deep submarine harbor that they have.
It's so goofy.
Then Locke makes his way onto the unguarded sub. And
it's because everybody's guarding Jack and Kate and Saeed. Yeah.
But meanwhile, in their leader's home, he had a full meal.
Yeah.
held at gunpoint.
Got in a quick kidnapping.
Then took the daughter, walked right out the back door to the submarine.
He got some fucking dynamite Amazon Prime delivered to him.
Right.
He put it in order and it got delivered right to his fucking doorstep.
Meanwhile, Saeed got caught.
Yeah.
Let's not lose track of that. Saeed is handcuffed to a swing set guarded by an idiot right now.
Yeah. Oh, God. At this point, we come back to Jack and Ben. They're saying goodbye. Jack makes Ben promise to let his friends go. Ben does the genie, be careful what you wish for. He's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I will let your friends go as soon as you get off the island. Wink. And so then they head off to the submarine. Jack and Juliet.
I actually think that's like one of maybe not the most devious or villainous that we see Ben, but that's like a great microcosm. Him allowing Juliet, especially, who he says he like cares about and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But him allowing her and Jack to still just go, knowing Locke is gonna blow it up right in front of him.
Yep.
And that's like the best part because Ben is so like he smiles, he's like, yes, I kept my word. I'm the hero here. You can trust me. And then he knows he let it happen.
Yep.
So he knows he's getting those points right now. Yeah. I really actually like that.
We follow Jack and Juliet and a couple other folks heading out to the dock, and they see Locke walking away from it, just drenched.
I thought he swam or something, but like his shirt's pretty dry. He didn't get in the water.
No.
He is just sweaty.
No effort to hide himself at all. He just comes strolling down the dock, and everybody sees him, and they're like, hey, get him. Drop your gun.
They like,
drop your whatever. Get on your knees, put your hands behind your head, blah, blah, blah.
So he obviously is like, I'm sorry, Jack. And Jack's like, for what? Purpose like immediately blows up on
so
cue.
Good.
So like so Locke must have known, like, okay, I'm probably gonna get captured, so I just gotta get off the dock.
Yeah.
Then this is gonna happen. I'll be able to have some cool line. Because he knew when that was gonna go off. So like they should have just dropped down sunglasses on him after that line.
Yeah. It's just I heard your boat sink.
What? But obviously, the fallout of Ben's machinations is once again Jack and Locke are at odds, and that's probably when the camp's the weakest, right?
Yeah, no doubt. It all works to his favor. Even if he doesn't make active moves, he knows how to find an angle. It's interesting. I wonder if there's a parallel between that and another character in this episode. We cut to a flashback.
Here we go.
Yep. Locke confronts Anthony Cooper. He comes to his place. He's like, hey, what the fuck? Why'd you kill Peter? And he's like, I didn't kill Peter, man. I'm a con man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Peter who?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm not a murderer. I'm a con man. I con. I'm not violent. I just want to swipe money and that's it. And no, that would be bad for me. But he explains how he's the guy he's always on the lookout for an angle. He's like, I see an angle and I take it. That's what I do.
Right.
I'm the guy. Regardless of me trying to find an angle, this con is shot anyway. She is distraught by the death of her son. She called off the wedding. It's over. I don't even have to do anything anymore. The only thing I got to do is pack up my stuff and move on to the next con. Locke doesn't believe him. Why would he? Good point. But Cooper's like, just call her. Her phone, just the phone's right over there. Give her a call. And then he sees another angle. Just nice tackling angle.
A downward angle.
Yep. And just throws Locke right out of the fucking window.
Do you know why he had the strength to do that, Adam?
Why is that?
Because he was fueled by the power of that sweet nectar of the gods, McClutchin.
Oh, yeah. McClutchin, 60-year-old scotch sitting on the thing. Yeah, have a couple of belts. The second best time to have McClutchin is 9:30 in the morning. The best time to have McClutchin is right now.
Right now.
Oh my god, that's so fucking dumb.
So Locke's master plan here is to confront this guy and then be like, I'm going to call from your home this woman that has now broken it off with you, and we're going to just all have a chat. Hey, did he really tell? Yeah, is this really over? Yeah. Good, because I'm the random guy who got his kidney stolen by now your ex boyfriend or fiance or whatever.
To be fair, yeah, that's probably not going to work out. However, he probably didn't think he was going to get fucking yeeted out the window. Like, that's a high-rise building. That's like that bulletproof glass shit.
Right. And he had to get over, if you go back and look, it's like those windows that have like the smaller window and then the metal bar and then other window. Like that bar is at like John Locke's like belt line. So he had to get up and over. Like he got like form tackle.
Yep, exactly.
Go up and over. So here's the crazy part. Locke gets like a lot of distance out too.
Yeah.
So that's just like another thing that like this old 60-year-old guy, like my dad's 60 and I'm probably less weight than John Locke is.
Sure.
There's no way my dad's like picking me up, form tackle, and then throwing me through bulletproof glass.
Hey, Jeff, if we get enough money on Patreon, will you let your dad try to throw you out of a window?
Yeah, I absolutely will.
All right. It's for the kids.
But it needs to be in winter in Wisconsin with like an 8-foot snowfall.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If nothing else, that window railing is at his like waist. I'll just stand on the deck and see if my dad can pick me up and lift me over the deck railing and throw me. We should do a control where I don't try and stop him, then one where I try and stop him.
Yeah, exactly. We should definitely do it twice.
There's a lot of runway in this particular scene where he like is pushing the sled for like a good 8 feet, where Locke never like puts the brakes on.
And your dad should have 3 fingers of scotch right before he does it.
I was gonna say, your dad's gonna be all scotched up.
Yeah.
You know, if I were a betting man, now that I know that Richard Leinenkugel's all scotched up, I think he's got it in him. I think he can pull off the job.
Oh man, Locke survives.
Somehow.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. How?
It's like an 8-story drop too.
A story's what, 10, 11, 12 feet, something like that. Yeah, that's anywhere between 80 and 100
These are massive vaulted ceilings in that apartment too.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, 12, 14 feet.
No doubt. So that's easily over 100 feet that he fell. And he didn't even go like do the cartoon thing where he went through like several canopies and then like landed in like a pile of fruit or something like that. Just like
the Selena Kyle.
Flat on his back, but he's fine. I mean, fine. He's alive.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Walk it off.
FBI agents are in the bedroom or in the hospital room.
Yeah, question him a little bit. They're like, hey, sorry, we went up there to try and catch him, but he flew the coop. So sorry, we're probably not going to catch that dude. How's your kidney? They leave, and then an orderly comes in. He's like, all right, or the orderly chases them out. He's like, hey, fuck off, we got shit to do. We got to get this guy on the road to recovery. Like he's like, hey, come on, let's go. And Locke's like, I don't want to, man. He's like, come on, man, you fell 8 stories and you survived. Don't tell me what you can't do.
He said the thing.
He said that thing. And he scoops him up. And this is a throwback to earlier when Locke knew how to get Ben out of his bed into the wheelchair. He's like, grab me around the neck, I'll grab you around the legs, I'll put you in the wheelchair. This orderly, that's how he picks Locke up and puts him in the wheelchair. And there it is. Locke was in a wheelchair, and now we know how he got in a wheelchair. We've seen it. So from there we cut back to the island. And this is what I wrote down. Ben played Locke, or at least he found an angle. Mm-hmm. He might not have pulled every string, but he saw what the parts were in motion, and he found a way to benefit from it, which is exactly what he does. And he's the bomb at it.
And John says that much, and Richard's standing right behind him and kind of has this look of like, wait, what happened?
Ben is like, okay, so here's the thing. Remember how earlier we were talking about the box, and you made that super sick joke about the box being big enough to hold the submarine? Come and check it out. It's a real thing. I wasn't fucking with you. You did me a solid actually by blowing up the submarine. It's all a matter of perspective, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So come on over to the box. I got something for you. And they get to the box. It's just a room. It's a room. Yep. They open the door, and holy shit, Dad?
Anthony Cooper?
Ben also admits in that scene, Ben's whole character is he wants to keep the island, right? Like that's his. It's mine. I control the island.
I was born here, yeah.
But he actually admits, too, in that scene that John does have a strange communion with the island, and it does scare him, I think. I think it scares Ben.
Yeah.
I think it scares Ben because the way he frames it is you can hear the island.
Yeah.
You don't know what the island's saying, but you can hear it. And so that's what's scary, because he is communing with the island and he has no idea what to do with it.
Right.
And then Dad's there.
And then Dad's there. Loud.
The man from Tallahassee.
My word. Did we like it? Was it good? That is the first question up here at the end of the episode. You can like something that sucks. You can hate something that rules. They're not necessarily the same. Did we like it? Was it good? Jeff, what do you think?
I actually really did get a new appreciation for this episode. It is not action-packed like some of the other episodes. It doesn't even really have all that much movement, but the verbal sparring is top notch. But yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good episode. I think that there's some good development here. I think this is a real solid episode. 6.5 out of 10.
Adam?
Yes, I enjoyed this episode a lot. It felt action-packed without having literal action in it. The moves that were made felt like meaningful steps forward in the story, and along the way, we got some good character interactions and sparring between Locke and Ben. The scene with Saeed and Alex, I just found so sweet, but also tense because of the circumstances surrounding it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. So, JP, what do you say?
Yeah, I really like this episode. I love John Locke's chaotic determination to just be like, fuck yo, submarine. I heard you got a submarine. I got some explosives. I don't like the fact that you got a submarine, and frankly, I don't want to hold on to these explosives anymore. Oh, look, a solution to all of my problems. I do like it. I like it a lot. The one thing that I keep going back to, Walkabout, when Locke is in his room talking to the phone sex worker.
Yeah.
And it's like, my man was truly out of his mind. Then the crash happens and he's like, oh, but I'm a useful kind of crazy now. John Locke's still fucking nuts. Dude, and I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. And he never gets unnuts.
So yeah, across the board, yeses, liked it.
Yeah.
Man from Tallahassee, not bad at all.
Lost MVPs in this episode that we all liked. Who was the all-star? Who was your favorite? Who did you want to see some more of, Jeff? Kick us off. Who was your MVP of the Man from Tallahassee?
For this one, I'll take Ben. Yeah, I think this episode, it really is as much about him and us getting to see him manipulate someone and use someone's whatever it is, vengeance in John's case, hopefulness in Jack's case, like, oh, I'm going to be able to get off the island. He uses all of that. Some of his moves don't make sense to us until the very end, when we realize he's been playing John the whole time. It's Ben for me.
Solid pick. Adam.
Honestly, I have to give it to the orderly.
Oh, yeah.
When he comes in and physically forces John to move forward and not wallow, and then accidentally hands him his mantra, which is going to be an important part of his recovery and an important part of who he becomes as time goes by. Don't tell me what I can't do. He's a unknowing catalyst for the beginning of John's journey. The act of his life that includes going to the island. So yeah, I'm going to give it to the orderly.
Don't forget, he also shushes out the FBI agents, or
that's right.
Maybe not FBI, but the police or whatever. He shushes them out. Yep. Get out of here.
Yep. JP, what do you say?
I'm just giving it straight up to my sweet baby boy, John Locke.
Right.
I loved his energy in this one. He seems so full of life. He had a goal, and he executed that goal perfectly.
This is like the one time where you're able to select John Locke, and I don't necessarily have an argument against it. Locke did kick ass. But yeah, this episode on the whole, I think we had a fucking cornucopia of good shit happening. So
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, this was a very, very good episode. But the flip side of the coin, if there's a best, there's got to be a worst. The Lost Forever. Who sucks shit? Who did we not really care for? Jeff, who is your Lost Forever?
It pains me so much to say this, but Kate's the worst in this episode. Kate's the absolute worst in this episode. First of all, this episode starts because she purposefully disobeys Jack, saying, never come back here. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm going to go do that. And then she just fucks up every time she's on screen. And then Kate and Jack have that little moment where Jack's still like, oh, maybe Jack still cares about her or whatever. And then, I don't know, she doesn't do anything after that. We don't even see her anymore. So she's the worst in this episode. And that kills me. I like Kate.
Jack's like, I told you not to come back for me. She's like, I didn't think you meant it.
Yeah, what? What did you think? He was kidding?
That's on you.
Yeah. That's on you.
Adam, who is your lost forever?
Ryan. That guy's a clown. Once you chain Saeed to the swing set, you don't need to watch him. Like, I feel like they put him out there so that he couldn't wreck anything. Yeah. Like, hey, Ryan, watch Saeed. Don't fucking swallow your own tongue. Like,
don't check his backpack either. Whatever you do,
absolutely don't search his backpack. Yeah, whatever you do. JP, what about you?
Tamara Fry, the person she is a named character, but she's the woman at the very beginning who denies Locke his fucking benefits.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
None of that shit's your business.
That's a good one.
That's a good pick. Fuck
it's not
her.
like it's your money.
Fuck
like,
her. Yeah.
Ugh.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Oh, it was my pleasure, guys.
You got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, sure. If you guys, I guess, it's not really my stuff. It's my kids' stuff. But if you want to see what we're doing at high school, go search up Little Elm TV on YouTube. You can see the kids' movies that were referenced earlier. And watch them. They're pretty good.
I was a judge in this most recent film festival, and it's like you said, watching movies is how you learn how to do it, but also how you learn how to make movies is by doing it.
Yeah.
And so these kids, you put cameras in their hands and you gave them a direction, and off they went. That's how you make creatives. You let them be creative. So no, it's cool. Yeah, and we'll tag the channel in the show notes. So yeah, absolutely check it out. Yeah, some of the films that we watched this year, they were really great. So
well, thank you guys for having me. It was a blast. I really, really enjoyed it.
JP, what are we doing next time?
Oh, well, next time, if you want to be lost with us, we will be watching Season 2, Episode 16, The Whole Truth, featuring Sun.
Ooh. Yeah, looking forward to that. Love Sun. We love Sun here on Lost and Lost. So be sure.
Rising sun, setting sun, midday sun, anytime.
Anytime, baby.
Well, thank you out there for listening to this episode of Lost on Lost.
Yeah, I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
You have any idea what's going on the show?
Nope.
Me neither.
Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.